Good evening, God. Thank you for the opportunity to worship in your house this morning with Abram and Nicole, and then Bible study. Pastor Cars queued us up to watch season 1, episode 7, and gave his highlights. He appreciated how much they stuck to John 3. Let me double check I said that right. Yeah, John 3 with Nicodemus and Jesus having a conversation. I talked a little bit about that a couple months ago, but the part that I'm going to focus on is another thing that he appreciated, and that's one of my favorite scenes in all of The Chosen here in episode 1 when Matthew and Gaius are talking, and Matthew is just going through a world of struggles. It's not in the Bible, but it's probably fairly accurate based on the times that he was a tax collector. That part's in the Bible, but that he had all of the earthly possessions a man could want, similar to Nicodemus, who Jesus had just got done talking to. And Nicodemus was hesitant. Jesus offered for Nicodemus to follow him, and Nicodemus was very hesitant, and Jesus said, "Think on it." And Matthew, on the other hand, was working in the tax collector booth, and Jesus said, "Matthew, son of Alphaeus, follow me." And Matthew didn't hesitate at all. He just put down his things, jumped out of the booth, and guy said, "What are you doing? You have everything, and you have protection of Rome. What are you doing?" And Matthew said, "I'm going to follow him." So just super neat to see. I see where Matthew is, and I see the struggles that you can have things of the earth, but you can still struggle, and you can still hear Jesus say, "Follow me," and drop all these worldly things and truly follow Jesus, and that hope that you're building up treasures in heaven, not here on earth. And another really neat thing was just how Peter was like, "Are you serious, Jesus? Do you know who this guy is? Do you know what he's done?" And Jesus plainly says yes, and waits for Matthew to get out of the booth, which is just so cool because, again, I sympathize with Matthew here again. You know, Peter doesn't see his own sins. He sees the sins of Matthew, and what Matthew's done as a tax collector, burning his people and betraying his people to collect those taxes for Rome. But Jesus forgives that, and he still wants Matthew to follow him. He sees his skills, and he sees how he can help the kingdom of God. It's just so cool to see how Jesus can forgive and see past that, and just wants Matthew to follow him. So I'm going to read Matthew 9 through 12. As Jesus went on from here, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the tax collector booth. "Follow me," he told him, and Jesus got up and followed him. While Jesus was having dinner at Matthew's house, many tax collectors and sinners came and ate with him and his disciples. When the Pharisees saw this, they asked his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" On hearing this, Jesus said, "It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. But go on and learn what this means. I desire mercy, not sacrifice, for I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners." And that leads me to another part that I like about it is all this struggle that Matthew was having the entire episode, his parents turning his back on him and him having no friends. And here Jesus just instantly heals him, and Matthew rebukes, saying, when Jesus says that we've got a celebration to get ready for, and Matthew says, "I'm kind of shunned in the social circles. I don't think I'm going to get invited to any parties." And Jesus just simply says, "I don't think you're going to need to worry about. You're the host." So it's super cool to see just the creative of that being played out here that I read in Matthew 9:12. I love you. See you tomorrow.